Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Friday the 4th of November. It is my pleasure to be with you. My name is Rachael Parker. My pronouns are she and her. I am the Anglican priest responsible or rector for the Dayspring Ministries, which is the congregations of St. Mary's Edgerton, St. Saviour's Vermilion, and St. Thomas Wainwright. I am also the Archdeacon for Rural Ministries in the Diocese of Edmonton in Alberta and the Anglican Church of Canada. Glad to have you here today. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I have a keen interest in politics, although I am not an expert and I don't understand most of it. I more study the people and how people are doing and the impact on people, because as a Christian and as a priest, I believe that justice and mercy go hand in hand with how we're supposed to take care of each other, how we are supposed to live out our politics. And so that's sort of the extent of my authority for speaking on such things. And I know there are a few people out there who don't think I have any authority at all. And that's okay. You don't have to watch. By the way, if you don't like something and give me the thumbs down, please feel free to leave a comment as to why you gave me a thumbs down, because I always find it interesting. You know, people will say thumbs up and other people will comment. But I really like to find out, like, what is it that ticked you off, or what you didn't like about it? Was it the topic? Or was it you don't agree with me, my opinion? That's okay. Share yours with me, because that's how I learn more things. Just asking, just interested. I really do care about what people think, not because I care because of my, it hurts me or something. I care because I care about you. And if there's something that I say that you think differently, then that I see that as an opportunity for us to have a conversation, not to shut one down. So if you ever disagree with me, feel free to comment or email me, rev.rachelparker@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. That being said, I want to talk a little bit about politics, because on next Tuesday, our neighbors to the south go to the polls. And they have been for advanced ballot or advanced polls or advanced voting and mail-in ballots and things like that. But it has been heavily on my mind and on my prayers. And on Wednesday, 2 days ago, when I was doing my daily prayers from this awesome book, it stated here that great preacher and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly." And I have been thinking about that, because I've taken it on the chin a couple times. People saying to me, like, "Why are you talking about American politics? Who are you? You don't live there. Doesn't have any impact on you." Well, actually, it does. Whatever impacts one directly impacts others indirectly, and it does have an indirect impact on us up here in Canada, especially here in Alberta, where our politics tend to look a little bit more American than they do sort of traditionally Canadian. But the big thing I'm interested in right now is the whole voting thing. I'm kind of, Canadians don't vote in mass numbers for the most part. We've had a couple of better turnouts, but they certainly are not representative of the entire population of Canada, somewhat like the States. But I keep hearing things about record advanced turnout, like, breaking records in Georgia and breaking records in other states because for this midterm election, which is intriguing to me because of all the hoopla about it, about all the rhetoric and all the things that are happening, the number of people who are feeling anxious. I've had a number of folks comment, that they have voted by mail or they're going out to vote tomorrow to get it done early. One very important person to me had stated that she's going to go out and spell off another person who's volunteering at the polls, let them get a chance to go and have a coffee and take a break, and putting in so much time. And I just got thinking, I spent a lot of time yesterday in my car. I had to go to Edmonton for a meeting, and because we had a lot of snowfall, my morning commute took me 3 hours instead of 2 hours and 15 minutes in the pitch dark, because the sun doesn't come up here till about 8:15 in the morning, and I left at 6. So driving along in the dark with the big trucks and the snow flying everywhere, and just trying to be careful. A lot of time to think, listening to CNN, do a lot of praying, and really thinking about what it means for people that they are willing to go out and vote. They're willing to go to a mailbox or a poll or advanced polling station to drop off their ballot or to go in and vote, even though there may be people who might threaten them, even though there may be people with red hats, staring them down or demanding to know how they're voting or suggesting how they should vote, even though there are politicians who are indicating that whether or not they are elected, they may or may not believe or agree that the election was appropriate, that it wasn't rigged or something. I'm finding this whole what I think of and have thought of since before I was 18 years old and allowed to go and vote. I've always thought of it as a right and a responsibility. That in Canada, when I turned 18 years old, I had the right to vote, whether it was my mayor for my town or my premier for well, we don't vote for the premier, we vote for our local member of provincial parliament or a member of legislative assembly, depending on which province or territory you're in, or our member of parliament. We don't vote for our prime minister the way you might vote for your president if you're in the States. We vote a little bit differently. But the point being, I got to go out and have my say. I got to study who the people were and what they stood for, what the party they stood for was, to go out and cast my ballot. And I wasn't worried that, that if I voted sort of NDP, or Liberal, so NDP is the New Democratic Party in Canada, and that would be like the far left, and the Liberals would be sort of the left to center, and then we have the Conservative Party, which used to be the right of center, and now it seems to be the right. But if I'm pretty consistently vote to the left, and I'm fairly certain that my dad can pretty consistently vote to the right. That's fine. I don't view that as he canceled my ballot. That I don't, why would I go bother voting because somebody else is just going to cancel my ballot? Part of it is that at the end of the day, I took the time to think about and for me to pray about who I believed had the best interests of my country, my community, my province, me, who I am as a white female person, what their platform was and what they would do for people like me. But also, not just people like me, but also people who aren't like me, people who are people. I am not a big fan of this idea that I want someone to be elected who looks like me, whose values are just like mine. My values can be really screwed up, and someone who looks like me, okay, I guess that would mean a female, a white woman, okay, of 51 years old. That may not be the person who would do the best for the most people, because you see, when I vote, I'm not just thinking about me. I am thinking about me and like my job and my security and my health care, all those things that we as Canadians hold dear and we want to hold on to when we elect someone into Parliament. But for me, I'm also thinking about my community and what I see happening, because it's not all about me. That ballot I cast is not simply for me. I mean, I cast it for myself, but I also cast it on behalf of the people who will come up after me. I cast that ballot on behalf of everyone who is not 18 years old, but still needs to be represented. Because I don't believe that the only people who should be represented in government are the people who are taxpayers. A Facebook friend, either Twitter, for their Twitter feed, said something the other day about, we need to stop referring to people as taxpayers and to start referring to them as citizens, because it sets up an us and them thing. If I'm homeless, I'm not paying taxes. I'm not paying property taxes. If I don't have a job, I'm not paying tax, income tax, things like that. And when we talk about taxpayers' money or for the benefit of taxpayers, we eliminate big segments of our communities. Children, people who don't pay taxes are not included in the people who are important enough to take care of. And that is hogwash. When we cast a ballot, when I cast a ballot, I am thinking in terms of who are those people who are coming after me? Who are those people that I love and care for? Who are those people that I don't even see? And that's exactly why I need to make a smart decision when I cast my vote. Because it's not just about me. It's about all those other people who will be affected indirectly. And in many cases, they will be affected directly, especially because they don't have a voice. Homeless, the young, students, those people who have been imprisoned and are not allowed to vote. They are still impacted, whether we like it or not. They are impacted by the decisions we make, and they don't get a vote. They don't have the right to vote. And so we're making decisions on their behalf. And if we don't vote, we have neglected our opportunity to change the system or to uphold the system, to be able to say, this is a good thing that we're doing. We need to continue this. Or this is not a good thing we're doing. We need to not do that. We need to elect this person over here, this party, and have them do that. And I'm not suggesting that you should, in the States, you should vote Democrat or you should vote Republican. I think you all know how I think you should vote, but none of my business. The point is, I think you should vote. And so for all those folks in the States who this weekend are thinking, I really need to go and cast my ballot, or, I need to go on Tuesday, or maybe if I can still go to advanced vote polling and cast my ballot, I really do encourage you to do so. I really do encourage you to, however you're choosing to vote, to go out and vote your heart. Don't necessarily vote for the last person you heard in your Twitter feed, you read on your Twitter feed, or the last person you heard on the radio, or the last billboard you saw, the last rally you heard about or debate. But really think about, who is the person that I get to vote for on my voting ballot? Who is the person that I truly believe is going to do their best to take care of me, to take care of my parents, to take care of my children, to take care of other people's children? Will they make decisions that positively affect the people that I love? And if you believe they do, then vote for them. But if you believe they're lying, or you believe they're the lesser of two evils, that's not a great way to figure out how to do this. I really do encourage you to think about who you would like to vote for, and then go and vote. And then, regardless of who is elected, don't just quit. If the person you vote for is not elected, don't throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, it's all done. What's the point? My vote was wasted. Your vote wasn't wasted, because when they do those numbers of, 32,401 people voted in the Republican here, and 32,400 people voted Democrat in this county, it tells the world something. Every vote tells us there's a split there. Look at how closely, they're almost equal. Or if it's a landslide on one side and very few on the other, that says something about the community. But if you don't vote, your voice is not heard. And after the vote has happened, make sure your voice continues to be heard. Pay attention. Picket. Protest. Do what you got to do. Don't do a convoy. Don't do that. But find peaceful ways, and ways that are helpful, that help to change the system if something happens that you don't agree with. And if something happens that you do agree with, let your politicians know. Send them a note. Send them a thank you card. Give them a call and say, I really support you. I really think you're making the right decision. Or I just want to know I appreciate you. Because we don't do that enough. We are really quick to be vitriolic about those we hate. We are not really quick to say thank you to those we appreciate. So regardless of how you vote, regardless of whether you're red or blue, or you're purple, or you're upside down, or whatever you are, think about who you believe will make the best decisions on behalf of your family, your community, the people that you love, and then go and vote for them. Cast your ballot. Smile at the person who helps you with the process, because God knows they're tired and they must be just exhausted, because this has not been an easy electorate time. And to all of you who are going out and voting, all of you who are helping at polling stations, everyone who is trying to get the word out for their candidates, please do so with a smile on your face, because I imagine there are just as many people who are as tired as you are, and just as many people who are frustrated as you are, and just as many people who still have enough hope that the right thing can happen, that they too will go out and help, whether it's by volunteering or by voting, by handing out water bottles, by doing whatever they're doing. Be kind to one another. And this weekend, if you haven't already voted, take some time to pay attention to what's being said. Do your gut check to say, do I believe that that candidate is telling the truth? Do I believe that they're going to do the best they can for me? And then go and vote. I can't express enough how important it is for you to exercise your right to vote and your responsibility to vote. The two go hand in hand. If we didn't have that, if we didn't have the right and the responsibility to vote and utilize them, we would all, both of our countries, be living in societies in which we didn't have any voting. We'd be told who was our prime minister or our president. We would be told how things are going to go. We wouldn't have any say at all. And as scared as I am that that may be where we're heading, this weekend, you have the ability, south of the border, to make sure that doesn't happen. So I wish you all the best, Godspeed. May the right people be chosen to lead your constituencies. And may you be able to find ways to support them and encourage them and help them to know what it is that you need from them, and then help them to do that. I am going to be on holidays next week and the week after that, so there will be a Gospel on the Go on Sunday. There won't be for November the 20th, but I imagine I will probably have a church at home on Monday and Tuesday, and probably either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how quickly ballots are counted. It won't be up first thing in the morning Wednesday, if it is Wednesday though. I'll probably wait till later in the morning to find out what's going on. But there won't be a church at home every day next week, but I will be back for sure on the 28th, 27th, Gospel on the Go, and then I'll be back for sure on Monday the 28th. So God bless you, and if you are working at a polling station, please be safe and be gentle and kind, because the people who are coming to see you have a legitimate reason to do so, and they are probably just as nervous as you are. And for all of you who are going to go and vote or who have already voted, God bless you. Thank you for doing your civic duty and for reminding other people how important this really is. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. God bless everybody. God bless you.